All right, good morning, guys. This is lesson 9, multiplying by the reciprocal. A couple pages of notes here, and then your assignment will be to follow here. Yesterday, or the last time we visited, we talked about distributing, right? 2 times negative x, 2 times negative 4. You can still do that. This is just going to give you another. We've talked about the algebra toolbox, another option, another way to solve if you choose to. Okay, so anytime you have a number outside the parentheses, you can multiply by the reciprocal. That's the whole point of the lesson. You can multiply by reciprocal. So instead of 2, I'm going to multiply it by a half. Okay, so instead of distributing the 2, again, you could still do that, but I'm just going to multiply by the reciprocal. Why? Because 1/2 times 2 disappears. It's a 1. 1 times anything is going to be itself. So all I have on the left is negative x minus 4. Half of 16 is 8. Okay, now here's my x. I'm not even going to touch that. I'm going to do the opposite of a minus 4, and that's going to be add 4. And I get negative x equals 12, and I want positive x instead of negative x. So if negative x equals 12, positive x equals negative 12. So there's my answer. I'm going to check it. So I'm going to write out the problem here from the beginning. And instead of writing x, I'm going to write what I found for x. So negative 12, the opposite of negative 12 is positive 12. 12 minus 4 is 8. 2 times 8 is 16. So it doesn't take long, guys, to be 100% sure you got the answer correct. 30 seconds or so, you can be sure that it's right. Okay, second problem here. Again, you could distribute 4x plus 4 and then solve it like you did the last lesson. But we are going to multiply by the reciprocal. Some people find that easier. So it's always the reciprocal of what's in front of the parentheses. Don't even look at this right now. Okay, don't get it confused with the reciprocal of 20. It's the reciprocal of 4. Reciprocal of 4 is 1/4. 1/4 of 20 is 5. Again, this just cancels out to make it 1. And the answer is basically what plus 1 is 5. If you can't see it, you subtract 1, and you get x equals 4. Again, we can check it easily to be 100% sure we got the answer correct. Here's my beginning equation. X is 4, so I'm going to plug in a 4 there. 4 plus 1 is 5. 4 times 5 is 20. It's the same on both sides, so we know you got it correct. Okay, next page is page 327. Again, this is just going to be part of the notes to make sure we know what's going on, a little additional practice. It says using a distributive property. Okay, using the distributive property. So instead of doing the reciprocal like we just did, we're going to refresh the other way to do it. 2 times negative x is negative 2x. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. And I'm leaving the 16 alone. I'm not going to touch the x. I'm going to do the opposite of a minus 8, and that is adding 8. 16 plus 8 is 24. Now I'm going to divide by negative 2. 24 divided by negative 2 is negative 12. Watch the negative signs there. Again, we can check it. 2 times negative x minus 4 equals 16. 2 times opposite of x, opposite of negative 12 is going to be positive 12. 2 times 8, and you get 16. So again, you know you got it right. Now you'll notice that is the exact same problem that we did here, and we solved it 2 different ways. This one we multiplied by the reciprocal. We got negative 12 as an answer. Here we distributed, got the same answer. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Again, this one, it says to distribute, so I'm going to show that. X times 3 is 3x. X times 4 is 4x. Combine like terms. 7 times what is 14? And hopefully you realize that that is 2. again, check your work. 2 times 3 plus 4 equals 14. 2 times 7. And yes, you get the same answer. Activity 2. Okay, solve the problem. Hopefully you realize that a number times its reciprocal is 1. So 1/3 times 3, which is the reciprocal, 1/3 and 3 over 1, you get 1. 1 times 3, 3 times 1, 3 over 3 is 1. You could maybe say they cross cancel the 1, but a number times its reciprocal is 1. So 3/5 times what's the reciprocal of 3/5 to give us 1? 5/3. 4/5 times 5/4, 1. 20 over 20, you can cross cancel, but somehow you need to get to 1. 1 equals 2/3 times reciprocal, 3 over 2. What times 1/3 is 1? Reciprocal of 1/3. Reciprocal of 1/2. What's the reciprocal of 8? Remember, 8 is 8 over 1. So 8 over 1 flipped over is 1 over 8. And again, a number times its reciprocal should be 1. You can cross cancel all that, and you get 1. Okay, that is all for today. Your homework, page 667. Okay, just a couple things I want to point out about your homework. The directions do say select 2 different ways, so that means there's going to be 2 answers there. 2 different ways to solve it. 2 different ways to solve it. Activity 2, number 1 and 2 wants you to use a distributive property, okay, where you distribute and then solve. Question 3 and 4, it says use the reciprocal. Okay, so I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of 5, which is 1/5. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal of -2, which is -1/2. Okay, so just to get you started, make sure you show your work on there. There might not be enough room here, guys. You might have to show another sheet of paper. Okay, and make sure you're using these correct ways. 2 different ways to solve it. I'd like you to be fluent in both of them. Okay, number 1 and 2 should be self-explanatory. Make sure you label to start the problem off, like Bill and Jake. You know, what's your variable? Are you adding them together? Here are 2 boats, same thing. And then the last one, you're just solving for the variables. 2 times what is 6,000? 1/5 times what is 1? And so on. A little hint on this one. -15 divided by what is 5? A little visual there. You can make it into a proportion. But that is it for today, guys. Assignment 667. Stay safe, and hopefully you guys are all staying healthy as well. Bye-bye.